Jiu-jitsu really is like you just do the techniques. Like what are the passing moves? You just do them.
Yeah.
That's like overly simplified.
That's it.
Just do. But if you just do the knee cut right, they have to defend it, and that's a successful. Even if they defend it well, you still did the move, and then you back out, and then you do the next move. The move being like in over underpass properly with good technique, and then you back out.
Yeah.
If that's not working, you go in the double underpass, proper technique, and do it. If that's not working, you back out. You just like do the actual moves and go through them, and then they'll become better at defending that specific pass type. And then you see the chain passing, like when they throw the leg over, you come under the other side, or like they bring the leg across and you go down into side smash, and then you can start adding the moves. But that's, if you don't do that, it's gonna be very difficult to pass someone's guard who's like good at those recovery motions, you know? Very much like enter like this. Your whole upper body is like staying in a line. You have to like either be like this or like this.
Yeah.
But this is not really effective. This is like stepping into the guard. You can do that. But come here, Salazar. But if I step into the guard and then continue passing like this, then my weight just goes over him and he can elevate me and enter my leg.
Yeah.
But if I step in like this and then immediately switch to head forward like this, it defends my legs. I'm splitting his limbs so he can't connect to the legs. And then if he creates space and pushes me off, then I can step back and re-enter maybe with my hip pressure.
Okay.
But then when he creates space off the knee, what happens? I switch.
That's when you go hips down?
Hips up.
Oh, hips up.
And then if he defends this, I go hips down again.
So hips down on the outside leg. I think hips down for us is awkward because we're so lanky, but unless you find the outside.
I mean, hips down just means like lead with your hips, whether in like a knee cut or like side smash. Yeah. But the problem is you're just too willing to step in and you're trying to like leg drag. You're trying to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Or push in between it like that.
Yeah, but it's like why you don't control at the end of the leg. Like just because I can move his leg, it doesn't affect his body at all. Like it doesn't affect his hips. He can just use it to entangle.
Yeah.
So you have to, your goal is not to control a leg and bring it across. Your goal is to pin a leg and then keep his legs separate. And while at the same time trying to force his body and his hips flat. So it's like we separate the legs, we pressure in with like this or an underhook. But look, I've positioned myself in between his limbs so he can't connect his legs together. I'm fighting for the underhook already, thinking about what's gonna happen next. And then I need to hand fight. So underhook, separate the legs, and hand fight. So that when I put my chest pressure in now, all he can do is push an underhook, and I can try and get his shoulder blades flat for the final move. And if he does go flat, he has the underhook. He's gonna try and turn one way or the other, and we have to be ready for that.
Yeah.
That move, it's really like clockwork. Like you have to do it just like that.
Yeah.
You gotta enter the legs, separate them. But like pushing the ankles with your hands is not gonna achieve anything. It's very unlikely.
In your head position, like you said with a clock.
Yeah.
The head has to be in the like center, and then your hips kind of move like a clock. You're always going in and completely out.
Yeah.
As opposed to doing like this, and then going here, and then back here. Yeah. Keep your head here, right?
Right.
And then as he's defending, going here, here.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling my head out too much where I should keep it in and move my body instead. Like
It's about putting all your, like you need to be direct with your weight.
Yeah.
You have to put your body weight in a singular point. Like where do I need to put my weight on his body right now? Sometimes it's the far shoulder. Sometimes you need to put the weight here with your head. Other times you gotta put it under the chin. Other times you gotta put it at the hips. But you need to use your weight. Because if you step in like this, look at where all my weight is distributed. It's on my own feet. I'm not putting weight on him.
Yeah.
I'm just moving his legs around, not making him carry my weight. It's not gonna feel heavy. And if you leg drag, dropping my weight here doesn't actually do much because it just gets in the way of his legs again. And then I have to get bounced back off. So it's better, instead of trying to leg drag into passes, separate the legs, pin, enter with a block and a knee cut. And then when he resists, don't roll your back across that bug there. When he resists, I just walk. Look where my head is pointed. I'm fighting the leg. My head's ready to go to that far shoulder. I can start swimming underhooks and working my position, side smash and pressure. we have to like put the weight in very specific areas.
Okay.
And I feel like when you're passing, it's a lot more like this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like his head's up. Your head is up, and you're just like pivoting around your knees and your feet. Instead of pivoting around your head, you should be pivoting around your head and your shoulders. And occasionally your knees. But the knee is just like more like he created defense and space.
Yeah.
And I take a knee for a second. But when he starts to extend, I want to cover those hips. Make him carry my weight.
That makes sense. Yeah, I'm thinking more of it, like putting my hands on the outside of his leg, but I'm not dropping the chest down nearly enough.
You gotta get
Just
your
to
head
make-
in there. The whole point of
Yeah.
like opening the legs is to drive your head to his exposed core.
But also, JR, your head's gonna be up. You should look for like chin straps.
Yeah, that's what
know
I'm
what I
doing
mean?
a lot more today, flying guillotines and shit.
Right, so when
Yeah.
he's like, the pass is not going to be clean every time, right? I'm putting pressure and he starts to create space. That's when I can start reaching to the head. Like off the failed passes, when he creates space, pushes you away,
Or sits up, right?
or sits up. Yeah.
Yeah, so more sit-up, I'd probably be flying guillotine attempt. If he's pushing out, but not sitting
But
up
that
so
shouldn't
much.
be like an A game thing. You should make them defend the pass. Like you have to pass their guard.
Yeah.
Because the passing of the guard leads to the turtle, which leads to the back, which leads to the submission. But if you
Yeah.
just try flying guillotine, you're jumping straight to submission. It's equivalent to sitting back on a leg lock.
Yeah.
If you have a super high percentage guillotine like Sloan, maybe it can be more A game. But if you start diving over people's heads, you're just initiating a scramble, giving up top position, and potentially losing it.
Yeah.
But with your height and weight, you have to use it. You
Yeah.
got to use that weight, pressure them down.
I mean, maybe go for that eventually, but wear them out first with the pass attempts at like 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, if the opportunity presents itself, you want to take the neck, if they give you the neck. But
Yeah.
really, the strategy should be win the wrestling battle or sweep, get on top, start to break their guard, maintain good head position, maintain good shoulder position, drive your pressure. And if they fully escape and get to your legs, then sure, you enter into the legs and you start defending, etc. But you should be up, separating their limbs, going in between with your weight, driving your head into their chest and shoulders or hip, blocking those legs from coming in front.
You're always threatening something, like a wrist lock,
Yeah.
crank on a foot or something. You're always-
As they're like extending,
Framing,
you
yeah.
want to be as they're framing, you want to be like threatening.
So like, can you get to my legs if I'm here? Because that's how you always just screw me. So you're saying pin a leg and then getting the separation, and then more so here, right?
Well, this isn't a pass.
Yeah.
Right. This is not going to do anything. But if you over under, it will work. So that's over under would be here and here. This can work. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be a guaranteed thing. There are counters, but it's a good way to enter. And then you don't stay here. You just circle.
Yeah.
Just circle hard and start trying to get. And then when I have to recover, go the other way. But keep your chest pressure and head down.
Yeah.
Your head's too high. If your head is high, it's just I'm just going to use it as a frame. I'm just going to frame on your esophagus all day. You actually have to hide your neck by putting your head down.
Yeah.
And getting it, because if you keep your head on the outside of my frame, this is basically just my get out of jail free card, because I can just push into your neck all day. So you actually have to win the hand fight, get your head in between my arms, and then start to put pressure and pass. Right? I have to rebuild my frame.
And like, you use staples a lot more. Well, you have long legs, you can staple the legs
Yeah.
with your chin. you
Yeah.
know? Like, I feel like you don't fight for this enough where, like, it's not a great position, but just this here.
Yeah.
Like, even if he has a butterfly hook, this is a
But look, he separated my legs. I can no longer connect my legs to do something.
And the second that he feels like threatened and he brings his leg outside, I'm even in a better position, right? To like play his leg out.
And I can't connect. I can't use my legs. It forces a reaction where I must only push and extend. And when I'm forced to extend my legs and push, it exposes shoulder pressure and passes because my legs are straight. But what you're doing is kind of the opposite. You're like crowding my legs in and letting them come here, where I'm like, okay, I can just absorb your weight. Whereas what he just did was separating it all out, forcing me to extend my body, and then get pinned.
Yeah, I kind of like that leg drag cross position too, but you didn't jump on the opportunity. Like
Yeah.
where he was here and then he did that leg drag recovery here. As soon as he hits that, right, chop the thing he's giving you, right?
Yeah, if we're gonna go for the legs.
If you're doing that leg drag type of position, right? And
Gotcha.
just even with that single heel hook, it gives you a reaction to pass the guard.
Oh, because
right?
as he kicks, then I can actually
he
throw
has
the
to
leg
defend
by,
it, he
and then drop the
exposes
hips down on the outside of the leg, if anything. But like you're saying, not sit back to leg, because then I think
It's good to threaten it. Like it says, if you can force a reaction and you know you can get good at predicting the reaction, and you know I'm going to straighten my leg, then yeah, you can fake it and drop in.
Yeah.
or even I'd really go for it in the half to like.
Right. But without like, it doesn't have to be 100% commitment all the way down.
all your eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
Loose, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But just think about it like this. Like if you're on your back, connect your elbows to your knees. Like this. If you're facing me flat like this, I can't knee cut, I can't get through your guard at all. So the first thing I'm gonna do, keep your elbows on your knees. Just imagine this is like a generic passing position or a guard playing position. I just step at a 45-degree angle, tilt you to one side. So now I've picked, okay, I'm gonna pass to this side. And then I can start pinning the leg like this. It's like this sort of false half guard, right? There's no actual half. I can underhook here, I can grab the head, I can start, look what I'm doing to your legs. I'm separating it all. And then the final thing is your elbows to your knees. So I've separated the legs, now I have to position myself between your elbows and your knees and open it up. And that's what a guard pass is. It's like, it's about picking a side and then opening up this on both sides. Like that's the goal, right? And how that's achieved is through every pass, but like, you have to build the passing game around that as a fundamental concept. So like, if someone likes playing to this side, that doesn't mean I have to pass to this side. I can walk all the way to the other side. I'm the one who dictates the pace. I can pin, I can start entering. If you're playing knee shield, that's fine. I can step in like Salazar was saying, break it. Look, I'm just separating. All of this is just being exposed. So when I make chest-to-chest contact, and you don't actually have even a half guard anymore, you can pass. Or maybe it's like this. Maybe I have to underhook. Come here for a minute. Like this. Like you have to drill those movements. Like they're just guard pass techniques, but you don't do them really.
Yeah.
You kind of just get in there and rock climb.
The main way I really get like, yes, for real.
It's kind of like rock climbing, but you got to do those pass techniques.
The main way I actually separate is like when I force a half guard and pass from there, then I feel like it's like a fundamental solid guard pass, but getting there is tough for me, so I gotta...
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be one of the hardest positions to get to, because it's like you have to break through so much stuff, and you're giving them a guard. Like, this is giving them, if you give someone half guard, they can still do things. Like, even if I get here and here, the game's not over.
Yeah.
You know, there's tilts, and they can get under your leg. I think in general, it's better to focus on getting to those sort of pseudo guard positions where they think it's a half guard, but it's not really. So when you try and close your legs into a half, it's like there's actually nothing there. And we can just look, where's my pressure? It's like all here. Because it's like that, right? It's all about that shoulder pin. And sometimes I see you trying to pin their hips instead. You're kind of too low down here. Like it's good, that's good for the first step, but then everything has to move up quickly. And then get away from those hips. Because now when you bridge, you have no bridge power, right? You can't like do much. And that's what opens up the circle and the elbow ties as they, you know, start twisting up their arms and keep cracking.
Yeah, that makes sense. I gotta fucking, especially you. If I can, maybe I just gotta like work on just slow passing like lower belts guards, focusing on like peeling apart their
I think you like,
layers.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough. I literally am telling you how to do this, so when you try it on me, I'm gonna be like, no.